Hello everybody, this is Smashing Pumpkin here, coming at you guys with a deck profile of the Invoked Kaiju deck that I've been playing online for a little bit. This isn't one of my favorite decks to play online. It's quite linear. The games all play out pretty much the same. But it is a quite popular deck, and it was something that I wanted to explore as it seemed like a quite powerful engine. So if I was to re-enter the game, this was something that I was definitely considering. I don't think I'm considering it anymore, unfortunately, although I do think that the deck has quite a few strong matchups in the metagame right now. But yeah, the deck is pretty standard. It plays a pretty usual invoked lineup, like you have your 9 copies of Alistair, and I'm playing 3 invoked right now. I think that the card's just too powerful. I also don't appreciate having to resolve the Alistair to get to the invocation. I think that's cool that like your opponent can negate the Alistair and then you win when you have your invocation in hand. So I like that a lot, honestly. I'm playing the hand trap version of the deck as well. I don't think that you can really play this engine going first, unfortunately. So I don't play any of the spellbook cards. I don't play like Knowledge or Wonder Wand or anything like that. So we're strictly trying to go second here. And I think that these 9 hand traps are probably the best. I don't really like Gamma a whole lot. I think the card's actually quite bad. A lot of people play the Mech Knights, which I think are like okay cards, but they kind of are only very good when you... They aren't very good when you have one of them, whereas Kaijus are like disruptive, so even if you only have one of them in your hand, it's like perfectly fine. And then you play 4 different names, so if you do draw 2 of them, you can at least put a beater on the board, and that tends to be enough in like the modern context of Yu-Gi-Oh! It also prevents your Makaba from being Kaiju, which is pretty popular these days. I do like the Kaijus a lot in this main deck. It gives you another board wipe, which I think is pretty powerful in a going second style deck. I talked a lot about in the Snow deck profile that I didn't quite like going second strategies because they aren't very proactive and they require your opponent to be doing things, specific things, and then interacting with those specific things. I think that since this deck can kind of clap back with like some really powerful plays, and then is able to just kind of abuse decks from a variety of different aspects. I think that it can go second probably the best. It still is pretty soft to the Trickstar deck, which, like, I say this in most of my deck profile, actually. I think that Trickstar is probably either the best deck or the second best deck right now, which is probably a little controversial, I guess, because it doesn't show out nearly as well as it should, I think. But it just has like one of the dumbest, like uninteractable combos in the game. So like, I don't know. I feel like that's kind of crazy that that deck exists, and that people don't play it, I guess. But anyway. Yeah, back to this. Since you are going second, you get to play a lot more powerful cards. Like you play triple mind control, you can play triple scapegoat. Soul charge helps break up plays, then helps rebuild plays after they get kind of knocked down. And then yeah, like the rest of the deck's pretty self-explanatory. You don't want to play any traps, you're going second, so they lose a lot of value there. And then there are a couple of interesting things in the sideboard. A particular criticism for the invoked decks are that you play so many Alistairs that you can often find your opening hand just kind of clogged with them, which then means that you don't make any plays. Terraforming was the most versatile card in that like kind of chain of cards, so you can kind of set it up to be like a disruption card basically. In these cases, Zombie World prevents tributing, So you can search it up off of your terraforming, and then you basically win the True Draco matchup. I don't think that the zombie has affected anything that I've played against so far. I might be wrong there, but I'm pretty sure that that's like not a hosing thing anymore. Like there aren't really like spell books, really. And then this is for like mirror, and you can get this as like a general piece of disruption against like other graveyard centered combo decks. So I thought that that was like an interesting way to go about solving the problem of opening too many Alistairs. But yeah, I think that the rest of the deck kind of speaks for itself. You don't want to play too many fusions because you need to still play kind of the comboing cards. But yeah, I like this deck an awful lot. It's very disruptive. Makaba is like a really powerful card. Just being able to stop their spells means that they can't like come back nearly as powerfully as you could imagine. And then you can win with the fire fusion like super easily. And then this card I've made an awful lot against like Toad decks, which this deck has a phenomenal matchup against. Yeah, you just kind of like stick it to them, and then you just play like powerful monsters, and they can't win. It's pretty fabulous, actually. But yeah, this is the deck profile for the Alistair Kaiju deck, and yeah, I think that will be all for now. Smashing Pumpkin signing out.